this is Akovia, and as promised, here's the Firefox video on how to add some particular extensions and styles to your browser to help navigate and get the most out of fanart.tv. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to add a dark style I created, and it will obviously be darker and be a little easier on the eyes, but the main thing is it actually compresses and compacts a lot of the elements on the page so you can see more information on a single page. The way we're going to do this, we're going to install an add-on called Stylish, and once we install that, we're going to add some code to it. So we'll install that, restart now, and I'll make the code available on the forum post. Here's where it'll be posted. This one's for Chromium, but I have some special links for Firefox to make adding it easier so you don't have to do any code editing. So for now, here's my links, and I've got two versions, and if you look here, and you can try both of them and see which one you like better. But for now, let's install one, and the way we're going to do that is click on your Stylish, write a new style. I'm just going to do a blank style and paste the code. Oops. Let's see. Let's add a new tab here. Here we go. I'm going to copy all of it and add it to the new style. Just pop it in there like that, give it a name. This one was name it what you like. I'm going to keep it quick here. This one was 9B. Alright, I'm going to save that, and if we go back to our main page now, you can already see the difference. So it brings everything a little bit closer together. Got some new menus, look a little bit different. The biggest difference is when you go to image pages, you'll notice that now all the infos are actually tuck up into the images. So when you want to look at a bunch of images together, it's really, you don't have the info hanging out. So it makes it easier to look at the images than if you want to vote or download. You just hover over it and make your selections. So for contrast, if you turn it off, oops, I already had this in there. There, that's without any style. This is what it looks like to factory. So you almost only get one image per page, and if we go to there, you can almost see two images per page. Alright, so while we're on Stylish, I'm going to add one for the forum as well. And Past from our site, one of the moderators wrote a nice script to make these dark as well. And that link can be found here. Let's see, dark forum style. And all we need to do here is just click install with Stylish. Now that we have Stylish, and it should be that easy. There we go, nice and dark. And I believe, like I said, I don't use Firefox, and I don't think he does either. But if you have a problem with the smileys, you can try installing he did some large and small smileys for the forums. You can see the difference here. The default smileys on the forums have a little white around them because they were designed for a light theme instead of a dark theme. But there you go. If you like dark themes, I know most people that work with graphics like it because the white just kind of blinds you after a while. But there's our two themes that we're going to install, and now we're going to install Imagus, which is an image pop-up viewer. Very, very helpful. So to do that, again, we can go here. I already posted the link. Let's see, Imagus. Just go there. It's for Firefox. We're going to allow it. Install now. And that easy. Now we're going to make some settings, but I'll show you what it looks like right out of the box without any settings. Refresh this page. Now when you hover over an image, it should just pop it right up. Oh, it's keeping my settings from, like, I've done this tutorial once and it recorded no audio. I thought I removed everything, but I didn't. Anyway, I used the shift key. Out of the box you don't need to hold the shift key, but I think you'll get tired of that very quick. Every time you hover a mouse over an image, it pops up on you. You're going to want to use a modifier like shift, but I'll show you how to change those options. So we're going to go to add-ons and extensions, preferences. Alright, viewer you don't have to worry about. That's just a normal image viewer. When you open an image with your browser, you can actually change the background of the image or give it borders. Make it so you can zoomable. It replaces the default viewer if you like, and you can disable it or use it as you like, but we're going to use hover zoom. And this is where I set enabled only when holding the shift key. I highly recommend using it that way, so you'll always know that you can pop up an image because you'll get this red dotted line. Knows that Imagus knows that there's a larger image available if they've written a script for that site, which they have for fan art. So the other thing is this code, and this is available if you go to Imagus settings. It's this code right here. So copy and paste that into the settings here and you'll be good to go. What this does, it gives you a transparent border at a certain size with rounded corners. It's a great starting place to as you can see a little bit of the border here. Now if we hit Z key, Z will always make it its native resolution. So this is the full size of the image, and all we have to do is use our mouse wheel to zoom in, zoom out, and we can pan around, and you can really go full zoom if you like here. So just click on it to cancel. So just doing nothing, it will fill it within the extents of your browser window, but if you want to see it full size, hit Z, and there you have it. Alright, so those are the two big settings, and I've made all my settings available here on the page, and you can use these if you like and play around with the settings. It's a very involved extension, and there's a lot of things that you can do. You can check out all the sites that it'll work on. Fanart.tv should be in here. Right there it is, and that's the code for fanart.tv. Alright, I went a little bit more into this in the Chromium tutorial, so if you want to check that out, if you're more interested in some of the other features, I didn't go too extensive, but more than I'm going to here. So that's it for Imagus. Now the last thing I want to do is I'm going to add an extension user script to Imagus, again written by Past from our site. And what this will allow us to do is when we have well, here I can do it here. When you have oh, I'd have to refresh. Hang on one sec. Whenever you install an extension, there we go. Now say you've got this transparent image. You want to see what it looks like against different colored backgrounds. Well, the extension, you can give it any color background you want, but only one. So he wrote a great user JavaScript that allows us to change the background with some shortcuts. And the way that we need to do that for Firefox is we need to add another extension, and that one's called Grease Monkey. And it allows us to use user script in Firefox. And we'll restart that now. Alright, so now that that's installed, the way that we add this to Firefox, I'm going to close that now as well, is you'll download it. Where is it at? The mod. Here we go. And you can see I have version 002 and 003. 003 is his newest version, but it actually breaks one feature that I liked, so I made 002 available as well. So I'd recommend just download this, save it to your hard drive. I've already downloaded it. It's in my downloads here. And it's this right here. And the way we're going to install that is just drag it up here. That's not where. I'm still figuring out Firefox and how it likes stuff. Try it here, right on the. No, I know I got it to work. How about here? How about here? Oh, I'm dragging the wrong thing. No wonder it didn't work. We want the JavaScript. How about that? There we go. Background toggle. So just click install and that should be it. So now I'm going to refresh the page. And what this cool little script will do is now when I click on that, I'm going to hit Z to center it and go full size. I should be able to use the shortcuts Control Alt Q, and if I keep hitting Control Alt Q, it'll cycle through a bunch of different colored backgrounds, black, white, red, and green, and then back to transparent. This allows us to see if there's any stray pixels, see how it looks against different colored backgrounds. Extremely handy for moderators on the site, and that's basically what he built it for, but other people might find it handy just to inspect art to see how it'll look against different color backgrounds. The other feature that I was talking about was Control Alt W, which if you're checking logos, it'll show you the 10 pix gutter that's supposed to be around every logo. So text shouldn't go into the gutter, and this one's actually just a hair off center and not quite big enough. Well, actually it is quite big enough. The L is over. So if we were really picky, this actually wouldn't have passed. It should be moved down a little bit. But this lets us mod images right from the browser without having to drag them into Photoshop or GIMP. You can see how it can be handy. Now this only does work at 100% scale. If you try to zoom in here, you'll see it tiles itself. But that's all that's needed. The other thing I should mention is you can see up here, it'll by default, and you can change these settings, but it'll show the image name up at the top. And if you hit the Shift-C key, it'll cycle through a couple options. Now it'll show the dimensions and the image name. If you hit it again, it'll disappear altogether. This is handy for when we're modding, checking the edges of artwork. And let's see if we got a I'll say this. Oh, TV thumb. I thought it was a background. Show background. Now if we want to check the edges, no, I should have toggled off the border there. Now, the other reason we use the background colors is we can inspect edges really easy by giving a contrasting edge. Let's see if I change white, red, green. Black is usually the biggest one. You can actually see there's a little bit of a white line right along this edge. Not enough. Ooh, that should have been taken out, that name. So anyway, that's what the when you want to check your edges, it's good to be able to turn this off at the top so you can actually see the edge. So Shift C will cycle through those, and you can set it to where it's not on by default, which is how I usually use it. But that's it. And now you should have all the same tools that we use to moderate images. I think you find it handy if you frequent the site a lot and are searching through artwork. Just makes everything a little bit easier. You can check artwork without having to you can check it right from the activity stream without having to go to each individual page to look at the art, which is really handy. And so play around with it. I hope you found this useful. If you do have any questions, feel free to post them in the forums. Thanks, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.